Created all those neural pathways.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if that's how that works, but it sounded smart. Neural pathways.
I feel like that's a shame when I don't have video. And I go up to it and then I shoulder shrug.
Yeah. No, here, do it again. I'll describe it. Tyler's leaning up against the microphone. He has a perplexed look on his face, and he just shrugged. Now he's doing palms up.
That's very Imbiamba.
That is very Imbiamba.
All
right.
Stuff.
Did we find $5?
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the And Then I Found $5 podcast. I'm your host, Colton, and this is my co-host,
Trevor.
Trevor was an upgrade to Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
He is better in all respects and has a massive, humongous beard.
Nice.
You thought I was going to say something else, you sick freaking people.
Hey, do you want to know my name almost wasn't Tyler?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was almost Travis.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know. Travis is a good name.
Yeah.
Tyler's a good name, too.
I also know
Tyler gets shortened. Tyler gets shortened better than Travis, though. Like, yeah, no. Ty is better than Trav. You're either Trav, or Is.
Vis.
Yo, Vis! Look at this, Vis!
Hey, what up, Vis? Just like, okay. Did I ever tell you the story about how on the boat we had this, like, underway where we decided to give everybody their Topher name? So Topher is a short for Christopher.
Okay.
So it's the last half of the name instead of the front, like every other nickname.
So were you Lur?
I was Lur. And then we had Bert, who is Robert. We had a couple Chris's, so there were some Tophers. Some of them went even shorter for Fur. And my buddy Scott's was TT.
That's amazing. That's so good.
Yeah, we also completely outlined an amazing channel that we still need to do. I think
do you want to give it away on this?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't.
Just go super surface level.
I'll give you the title. Yoga Time with TT and Lur.
Oh, that's where TT came from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know, because you've told me about the channel idea. I just didn't know what.
That's where TT came
the origins
from.
of TT.
Yeah, TT and Lur. Yoga Time with TT and Lur.
Okay.
And it would be a classic, like, every episode would start like we're doing yoga. And then we go, remember that time we did this? And then we would, like, jump cut to doing that. Like, remember that time whenever we tried to do woodworking? And then we would just, in a shop, like, all right, so today, and then just completely serious, like, don't ever mention that ever happens ever. Yeah. And be like, today we're going to show you guys how to make a wood frame for a nice whatever. And then end the video and never mention that again. But everyone would start that way. That's
so good. Do you think your buddy would be up for doing it?
Probably, but he does live in the East Coast, so.
You can get him up here. Let's film some.
Oh, I'd be down.
I'm serious.
Oh, man.
I'll help invest in all that. We'll put it on the Then I Found $5 podcast channel, but we'll call it, that's what the series will be called, is Yoga Time with TT and Lur. And we could produce it. It would be super low budget, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all we need is, like, make it look like you're in a yoga studio and make it look like you're in a woodworking shop.
Yeah, we also had ideas of, like, changing that every once in a while, where, like, sometimes do the way later on stuff where it's super meta, where you just have a yoga mat, like, on the table, and then you're like, TT and Lur, and then you do something else. Just the transition.
Yeah, dude, we should do it. You should talk to your buddy, see if he wants to.
I'll see what he's doing. I don't know. He's out of the Navy now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, while we're both in school, might be harder, but.
Yeah, but
you know,
I mean, at some point,
when we have some time off and try to film a few.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We should do it.
We'll see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Old TT.
I'll play producer.
You'd be like, okay, so now you got to do that little jump.
I didn't say director.
Oh. Well, we're gonna need a director.
We'll let Carter be the director.
Okay, Carter can be the director.
We can pick whichever Carter. Doesn't matter.
True.
It can be the editor Carter, which is actually me, or
the producer, executive producer
Carter, which is actually Cedric, or the real Carter, which is your brother.
True.
I don't know. It might be fun to try to direct. But real quick before we get too far into this, don't forget to check out our Twitter at 5_dollhairs. I think that's what it is.
Let me check.
And our Instagram, which is then I found $5
Still so sad somebody else had.
Yeah, and they're not even using it. But yeah, just don't forget to check that shit out. I do sometimes post, and then you get notified when the episodes come out. And subscribe to our YouTube channel too, which is then I found $5.
Oh, yeah, I said I was surprised. That's literally how I listened to the thing the other day.
Yeah.
Also, I realized I still have like 20 minutes left. I was like,
you were just getting into the good stuff.
I know. I was into it, and then I had flipping homework because of this nightmare homework like for the last 8 days.
So, you know what's funny about that? My mom listened to that.
What?
My mom. So, for context, if you guys haven't already seen, I put out on Halloween. I put out a little special Halloween short story that I wrote, and then also voice recorded, which I thought I did a decent job doing the voices for.
No, it was good.
But it's very R-rated. It's a spoopy, scary Halloween story, and my mom is, I guess she knows this podcast exists now, but a little more conservative than me, we'll say. And she listened to it, and she was like, it was very good, but very violent, or very gory, or something like that.
And you're like...
I warned her beforehand, too. I was like, yo, if you want to listen to this, that's cool, but, it's violent.
Yeah. I mean, that's like most horror things, though. There's always like somebody who gets dismembered real early on.
Yeah. I don't even have like early on violence in this one, but
no, because I don't even think I've hit the like uber violence.
Yeah, it's oh Lord, it's a coming.
It's a coming.
I'll be interested when you do finish it because I want to know. I tried to leave it the ending open for interpretation, so you get to decide if it's one or two things.
Nice.
My sister who listened to it thought it was one thing. Cedric thought it was another thing. I didn't ask my mom what she thought it was, but I'll be interested to know like if I nailed that or not.
I mean, already having differing opinions, it's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
It would have been a real rough start if the first two people were like, no, it's definitely this. And you're like,
what
dang it.
Made me happy is both of them were like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely that. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, because of this, this, and this. They were like adamant that I was like, oh, I was trying to leave it open for this. And they were like, oh, really? And it was totally on opposite sides.
That's good.
So I'm hoping that I nailed it. We'll see.
That's true.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I actually planned to do more because that was a really fun experience, and it actually is our most viewed thing.
Oh, it is real. Like, I don't even remember how far I'm into it, but it was good. So like it felt like the I don't remember what they're called. It's like the old horror short story vibes.
And I can't decide if I'm going to do horror again or if I'll dabble in some other genres, or I don't know. You and I can cook something up together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're clearly the writer type. I could throw you, I guess, outline. I don't know. Ideas.
Just if you're like, hey, I have this idea of a story, and if it's really compelling, you know, I'll write it up, send it to you. You can be like, hey, yeah, that matches my vision. Or
make Jeffrey a jerk. He's not the good guy. Dang it.
But no, that might be kind of a fun way to do it. So I can't put a lot of them out because that itself for 44 minutes of audio, I think is what it was. It took me 30 hours to make and produce.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I
think I told you about when I had to create a presentation and like narrate it in college. Mm-hmm. It was literally a 10-15 minute like presentation video thing. It took me like 8 hours to film because I'd be like, and then this thing, dang it.
Dude, I recorded and edited for 12 hours the Saturday before.
Oof.
Yeah, just got started and went just ground. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna stop. And I was like, fuck, I should just finish while I'm going.
Yeah.
And like I just did it, but yeah, it's the same thing where it's just
Yeah.
like takes so long, especially because I kept fucking up. I'd have sentences where I'd be like, blah blah blah, fuck, retake, blah blah blah, fuck.
I kid you not. So like my presentation was like Chernobyl, whatever nonsense in my school one. I'd
Yeah,
literally,
your capstone.
I'd literally be like, on April 26, 1980, it's 86. God dang it. I'd start over. I was like, on April,
Especially because you're like trying to get the voice good too. So you're like, on 1886. On 1886. Fuck, it's 7.
Worst part on that one, it was a video. So I was like, and I was like trying to not do one of these where you're like clearly because I had a presentation I was clicking through, right? Because it was an audio file that I just attached, I think that's how I did it. I don't remember. So I'm like clicking through my own presentation. Oh, screen grab recording. There was some little tool I had. So I'm going through. So I'm like also managing slides. So then you get in that point where you actually double slide and you're like, and you could watch me go, should I restart? But I couldn't because now you can flip and see me doing it. It's way different than if you're recording and there's like, if there's a 2-second like hold up while a slide's changing.
Yeah,
whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like if they're like, and then we'll go to the next one. But if I'm going, and then like for visual people, I gave a very
perplexed face.
A perplexed. Yeah, so trying to do that took literally like 9 hours, and it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's so
and
bad.
Not even like it was literally me reading like 8 slides, and they were not like. I mean, you've seen how I make presentations; they're not purposely like big. So I had to like talk through them, and some of them I was just like, oh. And I was trying not to do the guy who's like, anyway, the things, just hand gesturing, flip it everywhere. Because obviously in that type of video, it's super obvious because it's like me, and I think I just had like a black drop because it was like one of my curtains or something.
Gotcha.
It was a nightmare. So yeah, bravo for recording 44 minutes.
Yeah.
That would have taken me
the worst
80 hours.
The worst was, and you can catch it if you listen to it, in the first like 10 minutes I flubbed a line and I didn't catch it until I'd already like mixed all the audio and everything. Oh. And it was bad enough that I was like, oh fuck, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, so then I ADR'd it, I replaced the audio, and in the tonally I couldn't get it to sound the same. So there's a slight pitch shift for a sentence. And I was like, at this point, I was like, I'm not going to remix everything because it was already like fucking 12 hours into that day. I was like, it's going to live with it. Like, this is my first attempt. I know now how to do it better.
Yeah. If it's worth it, I didn't catch it because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Cedric caught it. He's like, oh, pitch shift really threw me out of it. And I was like, it's nice. It would have been nice feedback if you'd listened to it when I sent you the rough version. Yeah. But no, obviously I don't expect him to because it's not his job. But
yeah. That
it was really good feedback for the next one though.
Yeah, it's so funny how that stuff happens where it's like, I don't even know, freaking programming that I still suck at, where you're like, why didn't I use the simple, there's a tool, and you've like already gone through all of it and you're like, are you kidding me? There's a thing that does that, and it's like, yeah. You're like, God, are you? Oh,
my thing is, I'm just like, in that type of stuff, I'm just like, all right, next time.
Yeah,
learning experience for next time. Next time will be better.
Yeah, I mean, if you expected the first one to be perfect, well,
yeah, dude. There was a thing, like a word that I actually changed. I went in and edited the original story because I couldn't get the word right. It's like, fuck it, I'm changing the story.
That's like me writing emails, and then we anticipated. Why? Autocorrect? How are you not getting this? You know what I'm trying to say.
The worst is when your spelling is so bad that autocorrect can't help you. And you're like, all right, Okay, new word.
New word, or you have to go like. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how to spell this, but I know that there's an R and then a C and then a whatever. I'm like, maybe it'll pick up if I at least put those in the middle. Hey, it did.
So I'll do it. The other thing I'll do is I'll Google it because Google's better at telling what words are than autocorrect.
100%.
So I'll just like
They'll
I'll
catch really quick.
I'll be like, I can't figure out what this is, so I throw it in Google search, and then they'll. Did you mean?
Sometimes what I do, here's a real hack for all you.
Ooh, and he's a programmer now, so he knows hacks real good.
Oh, don't trust that.
He's a freaking elite hacker.
You know how your phone can dictate stuff? You just say it into your phone and then it types it out for you. Life hack.
You wouldn't get that from someone who's not a hacker, not a programmer.
Again, don't throw that word around.
Programmer.
Programmer. Ooh,
Programmer.
If I ever make a YouTube channel about programming, that's going to be the name of it. Programmer. Actually, it's going to be professional programmer.
Copyright. We copyright that.
Yeah,
Can't take it.
Copyright, trademark.
Trademark. It's ours. You can't have it. That's legally binding, right?
Yeah. How bummed would I be if there was another Tyler who had like that type of idea? I see it, especially if it like blew up and I was like, "Are you flipping kidding me?"
Yeah, it's like the next Linus Tech Tips or something.
Yeah, and you're like
programmer,
professional programmer.
I don't think it's a good name because I can't even say it.
That's what I like about it.
Programmer,
professional programmer.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our new video on programmer.
Today, first, we're going to start with some yoga. All right, so this is what... Oh, that was the other aspect of the channel. Just so you're aware for the future.
Were we? We were talking about that in the recording, not in the pre-recording, right? Yeah.
No, it was in it.
Sorry, I just had a fucking brain melt. My brain melted.
The trick was you always had to get to the point of yoga where you got to like, you're like, okay, we'll start with downward dog into a cobra stretch. Hey, remember that time? Like you had to get a few in.
I have such a good visual of like you guys in way too tight yoga pants with sweatbands on.
Only then, 80s yoga gear. I forgot. We already had the apparel.
And then you guys are like in that position and one of you looks at the other and is like, hey, remember when? And then it's like a screen wipe. Like the shitty wobbly screen
No, I want
wipes.
like the Star Wars one where it goes when it closes.
Or that, yeah. Or like you know the old Disney Channel movie ones where like they'd have a flashback and the screen would wobble and then change? Yeah, that transition.
Actually, that's better. I like that.
The shitty transitions.
Yeah.
Like
also, we did have the idea that you would stay in whatever yoga thing you were in.
That's amazing.
But obviously, you never mention it. But like, say it's woodworking, you still have like the PPE on, but you still have like, say, hey, remember that time we learned how to weld? And then you're welding, like you have the mask and like the apron, but then you also have bright colored 80s yoga gear on.
That's so good.
Oh, we have paid. I bet I still have my notebook with all the ideas that we had.
Dude, I'm telling you, we should do it.
Oh,
if your buddy's down.
I know. At worst, I have to be like, you need to come be the guest appearance.
Yeah, for sure. When we get some traction, when we have an audience, we definitely have to do it then. At least
100%. Like I said, we had a whole underway of just spitballing horrible ideas. So I have a notebook somewhere with just tons of them. We even remember the I think, what was it, 2017. So this was like primetime YouTube drama. I mean, it still happens now. Yeah, but that was like the times whenever I remember there were like a lot of big YouTubers that were having like YouTube drama. And we were like, okay, so somebody obviously we have again. We had so obviously whenever we break up and then we do our own and then we come back.
Dude, you can do a breakup video where like you're doing yoga by yourself, he's doing yoga by himself, and then he's like, "Remember when Tyler used to be here?"
Yeah,
screen wipes,
and then it's just back to normal. if I remember right, one of the things is that we were gonna have that break, and then it's we were just going to never make up, but then just start putting out normal videos again, but never address it again. So like, diverge, immediately back. So they're like, are these old videos they're putting
get
up?
so meta with it too, though.
Oh
because
yeah.
if you did that, then you could be like, remember when we broke up? And then it wobbles into you guys fighting
Again.
Yeah.
And then like 5 years later you see how we got back together, even though like timeline wise it literally makes zero sense, because we would obviously try to keep it dated by using modern, like, hey, remember last week when, obviously this is way dated, but like back then it was like Brexit, having those type of times. So like clearly it's chronological, but the timeline is not like at all.
So good.
Yeah.
Remember when we broke up and got back together and then broke up again?
No, I don't. And then we go into whatever.
Yeah.
Like, man, remember that time you had a beard? And that would be amazing if you purposely saved videos of like beard and non.
Dude, you could totally do that.
Oh, yeah, because it's just the jump to whatever.
Yeah, like, it's just, I mean, it's not even that hard. You just do all the filming with the person with the beard, then he goes shaves, and then you do the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's good. Remember that time I did
Fuck.
this whole time with only half my mustache? Man, that was wild.
Oh, the better part, though, would be to film it so you can only see, like, one part of the face.
I'm standing to, like, the left the whole time.
So it looks like you still have a full beard and mustache, and then
it's like, yeah, at some point you turn straight, and they're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and don't address it until way later.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Sounds like a horrible improv show.
Dude, you could
and I love it.
get so meta, though, because you could flash back, and then in the flashback, be like, remember that time we were doing yoga? And then you flash to a yoga, and you're like, in the yoga, you're like, remember that time we did this? And then you flash again.
Yeah. Ideally, I want it to never, once you're in. Oh, that was the other thing. Is it needed to be the videos that we remembered when, like, say we're going to build frames, whatever. It needs to be a legitimate, good, like, tutorial style YouTube channel. So there's the joke for like 30 seconds, and otherwise it's the classic, like, well, we're gonna remember that time I showed you how to
learn how to frame corners.
Yeah, remember that time I taught you how to change a tire, and then it's just a legitimate, like,
but yeah.
really good. Like, remember whenever you jack up the car, you need to put on the frame and not the body of the car, because you can damage the body, and like just go on a like legitimate good like just thing. Like that would be amazing.
Today we're gonna do. Remember that time we learned how to do dovetails, joints. And all of a sudden you're doing dovetail woodworking.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would require you to learn how to do that. And those are
kind of hard. That was like the biggest hang up, is we had the, are you good at anything enough to tell anybody how to do it?
The approachable way is to just make the whole thing comedy, but the easiest approach.
Oh yeah. Ideally though,
the deepest inside joke is to make them very serious though.
Oh, and that was what I thought was the funniest, is you could do it really serious and helpful videos on just really simple things, because people Google simple things all the time, right?
Yeah, I Google simple shit all the time.
Yeah, like, hey, how do you... Oh, I had one the other day. Hey, on Outlook, how do you book a room in a building? And it's just like, okay, so if your organization has whatever, and it's just a nice, helpful video, and you're like, what was that beginning part? And obviously, still in normal yoga gear.
Hey, remember that time we knew how to normalize audio in Audacity?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I learned how to normalize audio in Audacity after we've done like 15 episodes. Allegedly.
Hypothetically.
Well, not 15. This is episode... I'm not going to name it, because every time I do that, it fucks us up.
True, because you're like, this is episode 14. So anyway, this is Colton. We actually posted this as number 17.
Yeah. I didn't number the short story.
That's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah.
Because it can just be the outlier. Also, on the channel, you can separate it as its own thing out of
exactly
the order or whatever.
Then it's not in the playlist, the podcast playlist on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just made more sense that way.
Is this the part where Cedric's probably just yelling at his phone, like, quit podcasting?
Stop talking about podcasting.
Well, that was a podcast I was YouTubing.
Idiot. You're an idiot.
Go flipping
You're
nerd.
gonna roast it. Oh, get fucked.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna get meta with the meta.
Ooh. You mean Facebook's new company name? Meta?
Is that actually changing?
Parent company is now named Meta. That's a legit thing.
Oh, I didn't realize what
the
change
Facebook
was.
logo and Facebook name won't change, but the parent company is going to be called Meta, or is already actually, I think. Anyway, sorry.
So, there has been something that I've noticed that has happened. So, do you know about the podcast Office Ladies?
For the listeners, Tyler is doing the evil steepled fingers right now.
It's not appropriate.
But it looks very villainous.
Have you heard of the show or the podcast Office Ladies?
I have not.
Okay, so what it is, it's Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey who play Pam and Angela on The Office.
Also, Office as in the show Office?
Yeah, as in The Office. So Pam, main character, Angela Kinsey, or Angela, main cast, reoccurring character, literally every episode. So what they did is they're doing a watch-along podcast for The Office, and then they, go through it, the episode basically in both like content of the episode and then share behind the scenes stuff, talk with editors, talk with other cast members, talk with directors, talk with the writer who wrote the episode and ask like, hey, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Or, oh, when we filmed this, we did this and blah, 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 blah. Super successful, super good. But I've noticed classic copycat like world. There is literally another Office watch along show with Brian Baumgartner who plays Kevin, another one of the accountants in the show. Granted, his is a little different, but again, it's literally a watch along where he does the same things. Granted, he does it different enough that it doesn't quite feel like exact copycat.
Doesn't feel derivative.
Not quite as, okay. But there is also now one for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That was one of the most amazing flubs I've ever heard. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Chewie. Anywho, with the voice of Korra, because Legend of Korra is the follow-up series. So I think they're going to do both. And then the voice of Zuko. Not my cat.
I was like, wow, your cat's really branching out.
No, Dante Bosco, also known as Rufio. Rufio.
From Hook?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, same guy.
Also, you proud that I've seen Hook?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that is a staple. I mean,
Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
Yep. But they're doing one. And then there's also one for Gilmore Girls, done by the guy who played Luke. There's another one coming up for Psych, done by Dulé Hill and I think it's Dulé Hill and
what's the other dude's name?
Oh shoot. Actually it might be the detectives, Lassiter and Jules, yeah.
Jules, okay.
I think it's them, but again, it's one of the it's the main cast people. Like it's either Lassiter or Dulé Hill who played oh shoot, I just forgot his name. Flipping the best friend of
Gus.
Yeah, Gus.
His name's Gus, right?
Yeah, Gus.
Yeah, what is the fucking main dude's name?
Well, now that I'm on the spot, I don't remember.
Shit.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's a great show.
Sean.
There we go.
Sean and Gus.
Yeah.
It's like it's two of those like main five characters. I can't remember who it is anymore.
Lassiter's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and they also have another movie coming soon, so that's pretty cool.
I never saw the movie. Was it good?
Yeah, really good.
Okay.
It's just a long episode.
I never saw season 8. I watched all the other
too.
seasons. I just never saw the last season.
It really doesn't drop off in my mind because they didn't lose cast.
Which is
know how other shows like by the end they're like half the cast.
Yeah.
The cast was the same. The way Sean is he's a little different, but in not like a bad way. He just is different than he was early on.
Yeah, it was little character development or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole cast is there all the way through. And in the movies, the whole cast is there, except in the first one, because the actor who played Lassiter, I think, had a stroke.
Oh, shit. No kidding.
Yeah. And the second one, he came back, and the storyline was basically Daddy had a stroke, so he was able to act in it, like, very easily.
That's cool.
Yeah, and now on the new one, he's back to full strength and everything, so he's going to be in it.
That's cool. Good for him.
But there are now, like, 1 million watch-along podcasts. And it's, at least as far as I know, Office Ladies is the first, like, major one that I know of. Maybe it's just because I listened to it. And I've seen more, like, ads for it than anything else.
Gotcha.
But it's funny because they're all, like, getting announced. Like, the Psych one comes out next week. The Brian Baumgartner's came out a couple months after theirs. All the others I mentioned, like, came out 6, 8, 10 months because they've been doing it now for a year and a half, 2 years. I think they did it before COVID, and then they did it through COVID as well.
Okay. And these are video podcasts?
No, it's just audio.
Just audio?
Yeah.
So they just watch the episode and then talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
and cool. Then they literally talk about, like, at time code 2137, there's a blah, 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 type of things.
Okay.
Very good, though. Very, very, very well done.
Okay. The Psych one I might have to check out.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about it. I'll listen to that one.
Because I did really like Psych back when I used to watch things.
Yeah. It's also
turned into
its main characters, which is super cool.
Yeah, which is really cool.
It also makes it really good because they're, like, big scenes in, like, The Office, right? Like the Pam Jim kiss, which is, like, one of the biggest early parts of the show. And Jenna Fisher could literally talk to it. It's like, oh, what did that say? Or what was in the teapot that Jim gives Pam in, like, one of the early episodes? Like, she can literally, she's like, oh, this is what was in the teapot.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they can give some insight. It's like behind the scenes type stuff.
Or, sorry, now what's in the teapot? What did the letter say that was in the teapot?
What's in the teapot?
Nice. I haven't actually seen that movie.
I haven't either.
Has anyone?
I don't think so. I think everyone's just seen that clip online. What's in that box?
Isn't it like a cut off head or something?
It's his wife's head.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I knew it was gruesome. I knew it was kind of like the horse head in the bed, like in Godfather.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've actually seen all the way through.
I haven't seen either.
Mostly because when my dad liked it.
You disrespected me.
Yeah.
You'd come into my house.
I've seen bits and pieces, but it was one of those shows that my mom was like, like would tell my dad, like, don't let them watch that. So I only got to see, like, oh, what's dad always watching Godfather? It's like, yeah, you can't watch this.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I haven't seen that. And then what is the one? Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, Scarface.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
What I've always heard of Scarface is that it is wildly overrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be the consensus might not
from
be a hot take. I don't know.
People I know. But
I'll probably never see it, so because I just don't watch shit. But
I don't know. The premise is very 80s action movie, as far as I understand. Like, guy who wants to have cocaine or sell it or something, and then he kills people, and then it ends, basically.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm sure anybody who's a fan of Scarface is horrified right now by that description, but too bad I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, we have to keep up our tradition of alienating a fan base, so fuck you, Scarface fans.
Nice.
There we go, that's done.
If you're one of those guys that just has the poster of Say Hello to My Little Friend,
get fucked.
Oh, I was going to say they could stay.
Oh. Because
they probably haven't actually seen the movie.
I love movie memorabilia. I got a Starface poster.
A Starface.
I got a Starface poster. I've never seen the movie, but I really like Starface.
Starface.
To circle back to your watch along topic, we should do a listen along for our own podcast.
Oh my god.
It'll work because we'll always be one episode ahead of it.
Could you imagine? Imagine you went online and there was a podcast such as ours, and I found $5, and then right under it said, and then I found $5, listen along, and you looked and it was the same people.
No, I'm thinking the listen along is in the original podcast, so you're always listening along to the episode that you listened along to last episode.
Oh. Episode 15, listen along with episode 14.
Episode 14, listen along with episode 13.
Are we making commentary during it?
Yeah.
God, that would be so stupid.
We're commenting on our commenting on our commenting on our commenting.
So this is like the point where you'd be like, man, so at this point, we were trying to decide whether we should do this aspect of the podcast. And then it just goes back to us now.
That'd be so bad. It'd be so hard to edit too.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Would it be good? No. Would it be funny?
I feel like
Mildly.
you could make something very funny with that premise. I don't know if I could make something very funny with that premise.
I know I've seen plenty of YouTubers that have very funny like add back ins to their video where they're like, oh yeah, when I was filming this, I didn't realize that this did this, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's usually just like technical issues, not like literally them commentating on their own thing.
I mean, yeah, like Drew Gooden does that. He has some pretty funny add-ins, like cutback ins.
Imagine if Gus Johnson was like, did a watch along of his Alaka Blam one, and he was like, Alaka Blam, and he's like, so I came up with Alaka Blam because I heard of Alakazam, but I wanted it to be more like a gun.
Yeah.
And then it like went back. That'd be so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, so at this time code, we were talking about podcasting, watching long podcasts.
About podcasting.
About podcasting.
And before that, we were discussing
Podcasting.
other podcasting.
And, yeah. Oh, shit. I got a follower on Twitter. Some freaking dude named Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't following it.
That's all right.
I do that if it's worth anything. I do that with a lot of things on Twitter because I don't use it.
I actually wouldn't expect you to follow our Twitter because it's just going to let you know when an episode's come out, and I feel like you kind of know.
Yeah, but I need to go hard it, you know? It's good for the algorithm.
Also,
what do YouTubers say?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about most of this offline, but we're going to probably have to hire Fiverr for our graphics. Maybe Fiverr hire someone for our graphics.
Very swell.
So I want to talk to you offline maybe a little bit about that so I can get that going.
This is offline.
Yeah, because I want to run some paid ads and stuff once we have real graphics.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be good.
Just promote us a little. Get us out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, the first people that are ever found with that ad will be like, man, what a great podcast. I hope they talk about Tool. Or, man, you know what I love?
We're going to lose them all because I titled that episode, Tool Fans Are the Worst.
I'm trying to think of the other dumb things they said like that.
Remember when our mutual friend texted us and was like, I really like Tool, guys.
We're like, well, you go read the comments, bud.
The comments are special.
I'm just saying, not to completely revisit that. Actually, we should listen along to the Tool episode right now.
This is the most fucking self-referencing podcast we've ever done. And it's not even self-referencing because we're just talking about self-referencing.
It's good. Imagine if this was someone's first podcast.
Imagine if this was a real podcast. Shit.
Wait for it. I don't think I can.
Imagination.
It's a pretty decent little SpongeBob vibe you gave.
I know. I'm not going to try it again.
Did you watch SpongeBob as a kid?
No, but I've seen some as an adult.
What is your thoughts on it?
It's fucking great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It walks that line of catering to adults enough that it's enjoyable to watch, but still being a kid's show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It wasn't allowed in my house because it was too rude.
Yeah, my mom was not a fan of SpongeBob either.
It's really not rude, though.
It's really not. It's honestly just weird. There's
some really dark stuff, which I love.
Like the time SpongeBob thought he was going to blow up because he ate a bomb.
Or the time they literally kill a food inspector and try to hide his body the entire episode, but he's not actually dead. And then he gives him a gold star or whatever because he doesn't want him to try to kill him again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good point. I forgot about that episode.
Yeah. And like SpongeBob, the entire episode is like slowly having like this nervous, like psychological breakdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
And Mr. Krabs has clearly killed before.
Oh, yeah.
Because he seemed to know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the Navy.
This is true.
That is
also
canon.
How does Mr. Krabs have a whale as a daughter?
It's somewhere explained that he adopted, like he found her and adopted her.
Okay, so not biological.
Yeah, not biological.
I was gonna say the logistics there are interesting.
Yeah, granted,
Also,
grain of salt.
Fucking huge crab, or she's a tiny whale.
Maybe both. Well, how big of a squirrel is Sandy then?
That's fair.
I think she's a small whale.
I think Sandy's a small whale.
I mean, if she's the size of Pearl, then yeah, by definition.
Anyway, what were you gonna say? Grain of salt?
Oh, grain of salt. I'm pretty sure they revealed that on some, I don't know, when they were trying to like get in the internet scene, you know, in the early
2007s.
Yeah, 2007 to like 11, when Nickelodeon was like really trying to get in that scene before Netflix slayed all of daytime television.
Yeah, Netflix murdered everything.
Yeah, now they're on Paramount Plus though, so jokes on them. Oh wait, no, it's not. Still not.
Didn't know there was a Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it came out recent-ish, like last year.
Nice. Anyway, grain of salt.
That was a grain of salt.
Oh.
Is that I saw it on something a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
And I could be misremembering, but I'm like 99%
No, that would make
sure.
sense lore-wise. I mean, obviously you can't really scrutinize the realism of that show.
Why not?
Considering that
a Texas squirrel lives in the Bikini Islands underwater.
And a pufferfish runs a driving school.
It's a boating school.
Dude, have you seen Corey Taylor was doing a live show, I think it was in the UK, where he sings the SpongeBob theme song?
I think I have seen that actually.
It's such a great video. For those who don't know, somehow Corey Taylor is the lead singer of Slipknot.
Yeah.
Well, I say it like that, not like, how could you not know? But I feel like Slipknot is big enough and Corey Taylor's a big enough name. Most people know who he is.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's in two... Well, I guess Stone Sour, right?
Yeah, Stone Sour. And
he's like popular-ish. But if you don't know metal bands, I could see you not knowing who it is.
Maybe, but he's like been on like fucking a bunch of different rappers' music videos and like...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess, yeah.
Okay, we'll create a poll. Who knew who Corey Taylor was?
Yeah, and our one follower will be like, oh, I already knew.
Please do that.
Create a poll. I don't know how to do Twitter polls.
It's actually just one of the widgets.
I need to send you the login info for Twitter so you can do stuff on there if you want.
Smart.
Yeah.
Can I just like completely just post the dumbest things?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Nice.
If it gets us traction and you use hashtags to get us some traction, then
nice. I'm gonna tweet it all to watch while on podcast.
Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Tweet it whoever you want. See if you can get us a guest.
Ooh, that would be pretty
I'll send you
cool.
the login deets.
$5 hairs. Password $5 1.
Yeah, password is password is actually sexy guy 42069 pussy crusher.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be. You don't know who Corey Taylor is?
For those of you who don't know who Corey Taylor is, oh my god, he's like the best. He's my bae.
It's like 2015 jargon there.
Is bae out of style? It really is.
I don't
out of
actually.
style.
I think it is.
I think it's like they say something else now.
I really missed that wave.
I missed all the waves, dude. I'm so fucking behind on everything.
It's probably good now that we're not children anymore.
Speak for yourself. I am young at heart.
Nice. But are you also an old soul?
Oh, you'll actually appreciate what I put for the password.
Okay. Beautiful. Oh, man.
I don't know what's wrong with me in life that everything I do is like somehow an inside joke or a stupid joke.
I wonder... I don't know how you could do this study without just breaking the world or breaking the internet And not in the way that people say, oh, they broke the internet. Yeah, not that. If you could run a study on what people's passwords are and what are the commonalities. But obviously, if you had all that info,
yeah, that would break the internet.
Then you would.
Isn't that what those password apps do though? They have all your passwords.
Yeah, but most of them now are the auto-generated crazy ones. Like, okay. Hey, here's your password. You uppercase, flipping U, undercase, like you just threw your cat on a keyboard, and then you save it to a chain.
Throw cats on keyboards all the time.
I throw them off my keyboard because Zuko tries to climb on mine.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
What a bastard.
Yeah, but he's gonna watch it on podcast.
Yeah, I hear it's actually probably gonna be pretty good.
Oh, that one is pretty good. I've listened to an episode or two. You can definitely tell they are less the podcasty, or specifically Dante Basco is less a podcaster than naturally Jenna Fisher and Ansel Kinsey, the voice of Korra.
Not to toot our own horns, but podcasting is like its own.
Oh, it is
skill.
You can tell.
Yeah.
The Korra, I can't remember her name, but the girl who plays Korra, she's very good at it. She's very let's move the things along. And Dante's kind of talks about something and does what we do, where we're like, oh, squirrel. He's very squirrely. Granted, I've only listened to a couple episodes, so I'm sure he'll get better. But it's funny right off the bat because you can really tell the difference. Yeah. You're almost like, do you have a degree in radio or something, communications or something? Because Dante Basco has been an actor since all of us can remember, because he was Rufio in 1990 or whatever. But it's very interesting.
It's interesting.
Until it's not, when he is fine.
And then he found $5.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't use that bit enough, dude. That's our whole shtick.
I think we gotta use it enough, but not too much, otherwise it'll be annoying.
Well, but there's that circle of comedy where if you use it too much, it gets annoying, but then if you keep using it, eventually it becomes funny again.
Oh. I was gonna say, like the Paul brothers.
Oh, God. People like Logan again.
That's so weird to me.
I think everybody still hates Jake Paul, though.
I honestly, if you put two pictures up, I literally could not tell you the
Jake
difference.
Paul usually has shorter hair.
Nice.
But it's really hard because
is that in the Pauliverse?
I don't know. I've never actually watched any of their videos, but because I very, very, very passively follow fighting. And they box now.
That's true.
But now they both box.
It's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't tell which one's which and then they both have some controversy at one point or another.
Whether it be filming dead bodies or abusing someone, I assume
abusing someone or getting married for content and then divorcing a day later, or fucking stealing guns. They had some gun thing that Jake did. They're he got raided by the FBI.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and then he also went out and during the Black Lives Matter protests, he went out looting.
Smart.
Yeah. Which is cool. I'm glad you fucking white ass piece of shit devalued that whole thing by looting.
Smart. I mean, what else was he gonna do though? You know?
Yeah, I think he was trying to couch it as he was there to support, but he straight up just went out and was looting.
Oh, good. Did he go to Target? Is that too?
Probably.
I don't know if you remember. That was the only place I feel like they ever showed on news clips. Was Target. It was so weird. I don't know what was up with that.
I feel like I saw some Best Buy stuff.
I mean, they are usually pretty close to each other.
Yeah. Is there a conspiracy that all those companies are owned by the same person? Because you can always find a Target, a Best Buy, a fucking Ross's, and
I think some of that is just literally
TJ Maxx all next to each other.
I think some of that is just literally
there's only 6 companies in the world.
Oh, well, I mean, yes, and 2, those companies are the main mall, the structures that are attached to malls. So it might just be that's the real estate business.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah,
there's always a Buffalo Wild Wings right there too somewhere.
Actually, that is exactly accurate to here and New Mexico.
It's not Payless, but there's one of the shoe stores.
Well, yeah, it depends. Oh man, I'm trying to think which one you're talking about. Famous footwear?
Famous footwear.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is actually pretty accurate. I think the famous footwear here is across the street,
Yeah.
but it's still very close.
Yeah.
Granted, the Target Best Buy Buffalo Wild Wings is so ridiculously accurate.
Yeah.
That's how it was here, or how it is here and in New
That's
Mexico.
how it was back in Idaho.
Beautiful. I have noticed Target and Best Buys are like a pair.
Remember when maybe it's still a thing, but I remember like growing up thinking Target was where like the rich people shopped.
That is where rich people shop.
Yeah. I don't think it's really any more expensive.
It's
But-
really, I don't even think it's, I think the food is more expensive than Walmart, but other than that, most of it is pretty similar.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know where no, that's not true. I do know where a Walmart is.
I only do because it's next to the Costco, because, white person.
Yeah, but I've only shopped at Walmart once since I moved to California. Because I'm like a real California, and that stuff is below me.
I stopped shopping at Walmart when I left Oklahoma, because in Oklahoma, Walmart's freaking dope, because it was like the nice place in town. They always put
hell
Walmarts
yeah.
in like, the Walmart was in always like the nice part of town, was like really well kept.
That's so weird.
But everywhere else I've been, like in New Mexico, the Walmart was scary.
Dude,
in New
the
Mexico.
old Walmart was sketchy as fuck. The one off of Cerrillos.
Yeah, that one was freaking wild.
Because I looked at apartments behind there, and when I was looking, the guy was like, yeah. I was like, is it safe? Blah, blah, blah. And this is the landlord who's trying to sell it to me. Was like, yeah, we did have a drive-by a few months ago. Like, drive-by shooting.
Yeah, it is. That Walmart in particular was like the main reason I was like, ooh, yeah, this is a rough part of town.
Yeah.
And
which is
here
weird
it's
for Santa
fine.
Fe, but
The one here is fine. It's not that sketchy. I don't think I've actually been in it, but the area it's in is like the nice shopping part of town.
yeah. The new Walmart in Santa Fe was nice, though. That one wasn't
I don't
sketchy.
even remember where that was.
That was all the way out. Like, remember the movie theaters were and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Like, if you were driving out, like, towards Albuquerque, it was out on that end of town.
Oh yeah.
And
I
it was
went to
big, and it was very nice. And then
That was the other thing growing up in Oklahoma. Our Walmart got torn down, or no, they relocated to their like new fancy super. What's like super center?
Supermart, Super Center, Super
something?
Center, Walmart, Super Center. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
super center. They were building one of those, and they built it when I was like in high school. So the old one became a Ace Hardware or something.
Oh yeah.
I know, I forgot this place existed too. It's funny because they were like a mile apart from
It's
each
funny
other.
because you and I have literally been to an Ace Hardware within the last year together,
I've been back.
and then I completely forgot they existed after we went. Because they were the only place that had
Yeah.
propane.
I know.
So Ace Hardware for the win.
Propane and propane accessories.
How can you be girl daddies if you don't have propane? Neither of us are fathers, so that was really extra weird. Yeah, that's extra weird.
Did you find $5 at the end of that, or
No, I found an awkward silence.
no? I think we paid $5 at the end of that. Actually,
He had to get called daddy.
no, to buy propane.
I think it was more than that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I remember his fucking refuel thing was sketchy as fuck, though.
Yeah, it was one of those where I was like,
I'm not going to stand too close to this.
yeah, pat yourself down for matches or any other sparking items.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you went to just your average day of like, oh, propane's a little low. You walk into an Ace Hardware. Like, that Ace Hardware's fine. Like, it's one of the strip mall Ace Hardware, so it's a little smaller, but nothing wild. You go in the back and you're like, and then it flipping explodes.
You get to whatever afterlife you believe in, and they're like, yeah, how'd you get here? And you're like, well,
You're like, you'll never believe it.
I went
Go
to-
ahead, guys.
I was going to grill. All right. It was a Saturday afternoon. I had some boys over. We were going to do some grilling, okay? And we're like, shoot, the propane's low. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out. I'll get some. I'll pick up some more drinks for the fam and everything. It'll be cool. So I go into Ace Hardware. And this kid here, he's working probably his first job, young guy. And I ask him, hey, can I get some propane? The guy's like, yeah, whatever. So he's giving us propane. It's a little filler thing. It's like all sketchy and stuff. Anyway, so this biker dude comes in. He's all big and tatted. He's like, oh, you're here for propane too? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, me too. I'm like, dude, are you gonna put it on your bike? He's like, yeah, dude, that's what the thing in the back for, the rack in the back's for. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So anyway, he lights up. Now I'm here.
Boom. Question, would you have asked the biker dude what he was grilling?
Yeah, he lit up, and then we got lit up. If you know what I'm saying.
We died.
Yeah, we blew up. Speaking of which, that kid thought he was a nice kid. I ain't seen him here though. Just saying.
He's definitely in the bad place.
That dude went to hell.
No, the bad place.
The bad place.
We've been rewatching The Good Place.
This is the good place, right?
For now.
Oh.
No spoilers on that ever, because I love the first season of The Good Place.
When we talked about The Good Place on this podcast,
was it Trash Can podcast time?
I don't remember.
That is the danger of having a backlog of podcasts that we didn't post.
Yeah, I'm sure people know this because I think we've talked about it before. But when we decided we're going to do a podcast, we committed to like doing some test runs, and then we stopped doing the test runs, and then we started doing real ones. But before I did that, I bought new equipment, and so we decided to scrap all the old ones and do it on the new equipment because it sounds better.
Infinitely better.
So we actually have recorded like 30 of these, but only 13 of them have been posted.
Was it that many? I know we did 5.
We did 5 tests and then like 10.
Dang, we had like 10?
Yeah. It's something like that. It was we're in the 20s at least.
Wow.
So
I feel like we should go, not the test ones, because I know the test ones were kind of
bad.
But we should see what topics we did cover. If nothing else, just as a reference. So when we're like, try to talk about it like we've said it before. And then, when Cedric's like, you guys haven't talked about that before. And then we'll be like, oh, we did that when we recorded on trash cans. Also, you ready for my great idea? It's not as good as TT and Leonard, but when we become, Joe Rogan famous podcasters.
Yeah, because that's going to happen.
Yeah. We need to release the Trash Can podcast. Not even necessarily those audio files. We just need to record podcasts while sitting on trash cans.
That would be
because we mentioned it so much.
Also, hella uncomfortable.
Yeah, only do it for a few, Just one, actually. Just
we'll call it... Well, like half... Well, like, we'll intro on a trash can.
Actually, we'll sit on stools and we'll add it in post.
It's just a JPEG of a trash can over our legs. So it looks like we're just inside of it, standing up.
We'll call it the Oscar the Grouch Chronicles.
Oster.
Cookie!
He was in a trash can, right? Cookie Monster?
No, it was Oscar the Grouch.
Oh.
He was in the trash can.
I thought Cookie Monster lived in a trash can, too.
I mean, very well...
I'm really not up on my Sesame Street lore.
I mean, it has not changed in 80 years, so...
Has it been going for 80 years?
You know what? I'm going to look it up. Carter, actually... Sorry. Carter, could you look that up?
Yeah, sure. You got it, boss. I like how we both went for, like, really high-pitched... I mean, I'm glad... Carter's voice is really...
I almost typed Carter. Flipping search bar. Oh my gosh!
Get that keyboard up there for that sweet ASMR.
Ready for this? Oh, it doesn't even have the date. Let me
just search how long has Sesame.
Holy cow! Original release date. Oh, its birthday is in 4 days.
Happy birthday, Sesame Street!
It started in 1969. So it's been going for roughly, what is that, 50 years? 69, so essentially 1970. So 50 years.
Christ. That is amazing, actually.
52 years. That means they have something like, I wonder how many episodes they have. Because it's got to be like astronomical, right?
You said ass.
No, I said nomical.
Oh, that's such a... That's a naughty word, dude. You can't say that,
Bro. Like,
bro. He said nomical. Hey, I was talking.
Oh my god. Sorry. Guess how many episodes? So they have 52 seasons.
52 seasons. Oh, fuck. I don't know. 5,000 episodes.
Well, now it doesn't seem like a lot.
Oh, shit.
4,591.
What do you mean that doesn't seem like a lot?
Because you guessed over.
Yeah, but I was close.
It's true. You're actually pretty close. How? Oh my gosh.
That's so many episodes.
So many. Because 52 years of operations, 52 seasons, 4,500. That's 88 a year. Changing the subject slightly, aren't like the conservatives really upset about them right now because they have some LGBTQ characters now? Oh, I don't know. I really
You're not following closely Sesame Street?
No.
Oh.
Not generally. I didn't even watch Sesame Street as a kid, honestly.
We didn't have TV, so neither did I.
Isn't that one of the ones you can get on the old TV antenna? Do you remember that time when you could just buy
the rabbit ears?
Yeah, you get the rabbit ears, and then you had like a little. It was in like early thousands when you had to have a digital converter. Do you remember that?
No.
We did because a lot of like sports is on local channels. So instead of buying, like TV to basically just have local channels, because I just wanted to watch like Sunday Night Football and a couple other things. It was like, we have a pair of rabbit ears and a digital converter is like $10, guys. You can just get one. So we were all about it, obviously, because one, you feel like a freaking genius when you're like, one sec, let me just pull the TV out of the air, and then boom.
Oh yeah, you need to have to like
NFL.
adjust them.
Yeah, super. And if they sucked, you would get tinfoil and you'd
put it on them.
Yeah.
Now it's back in the good old days. Back when TV was good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
now
I know.
It's all trash.
Whoa, I did not know that. Did you know?
I'm going to go on a limb before you say it. Go on a limb and say I did not.
Okay. Do you remember what channel Sesame Street was on? Or did you know of it?
I don't think I've ever known.
They're also the owners of some of the best YouTube content on the internet. PBS? Yeah. Until 2015. Then it went to HBO.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. Hang on. What? Sesame Street's owned by HBO?
Yeah.
Damn,
PBS.
Them Muppets gonna be fucking soon.
1969 to 2015.
We can just walk past that.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk past that. Oh, that is so weird.
It just broke my brain, dude.
So it's even weirder than that. So 1969 to 2015.
Okay.
PBS. And then second run, 2016 to present, PBS. So HBO had them first run, 2016 to 20. And the first run is HBO Max, 2020 to present. So basically, they like sold out to HBO for a second, I guess. That's what it seems like.
And then went back to PBS.
And then went back, yeah. But now they're still on HBO Max. So it's basically them, I guess, trying to get in the streaming game. But why would you put it on HBO?
Yeah, because HBO is like, at least to my mind, and I think it's still this way, is the HBO is the adult channel.
Yeah, like very much so.
Where you get the adult content. And I don't mean like porn. I just mean like
the
R-rated movies.
They're like most famous shows are like Entourage and
Game of Thrones,
and
Westworld.
Yeah, super not
like gory nudity.
Imagine that you're like, Mom, can I watch Sesame Street? And they're like, yeah, here you go. Here's the HBO Max.
And I think HBO Max is just a Netflix at this point.
It is.
They have everything, but
they have I thought they just had
not everything, but they have. I think they have a lot.
Oh,
I think they have the rights to stuff that they don't make. Obviously, they do because they got Sesame Street still.
Apparently, who's back under PBS, but somehow had a. I don't research
have
this later.
HBO Max, so I'm talking about it like I know. I don't have it, and I have never had it.
Oh, because Game of Thrones is over?
I only watched like the first 6 episodes of that.
Yeah, I never watched it either.
I read all the books, and the show was supposed to be great for until the last one, but I just don't watch anything. And that's really just a problem with me and not the content.
I just don't. I know this is blasphemous to most people. I don't care for shows like that.
That's fine.
I know some people that get freaking wild. Like, you don't watch Game of Thrones? And I was like, no, I'm not really into fantasy. If it's not Lord of the Rings and it's fantasy, don't call me about it. Like, I don't. Fine. Yeah,
I fucking love fantasy, but if you don't like it, then that's fine.
No, it's
I don't like
stuff.
sports.
If it's space stuff, that fantasy, I'm fine with. I love Star Wars, but medieval-ish, that like time period, like Skyrim, no thanks. Yeah, Fallout, all about it. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't like sports. You love sports.
That's true.
Hang on, get this. This is crazy. Okay, it's almost like we're different people, and that's okay.
The shit you just say.
Yeah, like, dude, you can actually like different things. Oh, frick.
I don't think so.
Do you? So you like sci-fi then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say that like I've watched a lot of it though. It's pretty much that I like Star Wars, and I mean I guess Harry Potter's that.
Harry Potter would be urban fantasy, I think.
Is it? Okay, because I like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it would be fantasy, but I'm probably more urban because I think it's all in the real world, right? I've never seen it or read it.
Yeah, it's all in the real world.
Then it's urban fantasy.
Oh, okay. But I guess that really at that point, it's not even like I like that. That's just like American culture at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty ubiquitous.
Yeah. I'm
happy that you like Lord of the Rings, though.
Oh, Lord of the Rings is awesome. Because that's the one like world that I'm like, that's fantasy in that world that I'm like, oh, I can get behind it. Mostly because it didn't like grow out of control where I couldn't keep track of anything.
Incredible. And it's also like arguably one of the most detailed, well thought out worlds that's ever been created.
Also, you don't need to know most of it for stuff to matter.
No.
Like you can know like Legolas shoots bows really good. Gimli can get thrown and has an axe, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Aragorn is just freaking dope. Like he has a sword and he can cut people up.
And he's actually secretly a king.
Yeah, but they call him Ranger for some reason in the first movie. I won't get into it. Anywho, and then there's these little guys. They're not midgets, but they're really short. But they're hobbits. And they have hairy feet, apparently.
Yeah.
And they're like good guys. And one of them sings really good.
Yeah.
And that's all you can know and pretty much be down. It's like
there's
Sauron bad, these guys good. Ronin's like a cool side character country.
Yeah.
That's gonna help the good guys and Gondor win.
The beacons of Gondor are lit.
Also dope.
Dude, the freaking litty. You what?
Great scene.
Yeah, the beacons are lit.
Yeah, whenever they helicoptered over New Zealand.
Oh god. Oh. The movies. Oh, cinematography.
Yeah, I never read the books because reading is for nerds. Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the books now because the Tolkien's writing style is not super approachable. So people are like, "Oh God, it's
one of my
hard,
buddies.
It's hard to read," is what people say.
Yeah,
I fucking love the books, but
one of my buddies who's like, "Oh, I forgot you didn't have the same like AR points thing as a kid."
I don't know what that means even.
Oh, okay. So it's accelerated reading. I think that's what it sounded for. So like if you read a book like The Hatchet by
our library did this.
That one guy.
Our library did this. Our public library.
And then you took a test and then you got points for things. And
you could get like fucking ice cream at Dairy Queen or some shit.
Yeah, for us it was like if you got a certain amount of points by the end of the year, you got to go on the field trip. And if you didn't, you just stayed at school.
Okay.
Needless to say, most years I stayed at school because I didn't like reading. Anywho, my buddy who was like the freaking master of that, like I don't know if it's like a school record. I don't think they kept it like that, but like they had like the chart of like people, like they literally had like basically the top 10 like in the cafeteria, and it was like a little like ticker.
Oh, that's cool.
So you'd be like, I gotta flip and read more so I can overtake so and so. My buddy was like always the top.
That's cool.
Even he in high school was like, I tried reading Lord of the Rings. It's tough to get through. And I was like, haven't you read like 15,000 books? He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I could read them because I barely got through Treehouse, whatever whatever those were called. Rainforest Treehouse? I don't remember what they were called.
No idea.
Our viewer in Iowa knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. He'll know.
He'll know. Or she.
Or she.
We ain't here judging. I feel like
that makes it sound like if
you're assuming is what I meant. I meant to say assuming. But
yeah.
Judging does make it sound pretty bad. Like, hey, if you're a lady, it's okay. We're not gonna judge you for it.
It made
we're gonna
the instant like assumption I made, the instant judging I made of you is like you assumed any woman who's listening to our podcast is like something's wrong with her.
I mean, they are women, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Why would they be listening to this podcast?
Yeah. That's really the better question is why is anybody listening to this podcast?
We've seen the metrics.
Oh, yeah.
They're not.
This is true. Although, I don't know if you saw it when you
nailed it.
Followed Twitter for the first time.
I think if you look, I mean, you're probably.
No,
I'd
never
say
mind.
you.
Sorry,
like,
I didn't put it on Twitter. I put it on Instagram. But let me show you.
How many freaking sweet?
This is great. I'm on my phone, so I'm really a great podcaster. But look at that. Look at that. All-time downloads. 101 all-time downloads.
I mean, triple digits.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all about consistency and just keeping at it until something happens.
And then you get 50,000 subs, or I don't know what's good for podcasts.
I think the numbers to be good as a podcast is actually quite a bit lower.
I would imagine so, because, like, example, have you listened to the podcast Serial?
No, but we have talked about it before.
Yeah, spelled with an S, not a C.
Yeah, it's like an NPR thing, isn't it?
I don't think it's owned by NPR.
Oh, okay. I made that up then.
Nice. Anywho,
fake news.
Very, very good podcast. I listened to the first 2 seasons, and then I started listening to the third, and then I did it, and I haven't listened to it since. Not because it's not good, just because I just forgot.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
And podcasts are more a time thing, I feel like, than other stuff. Because it's like hour long, hour and a half long, instead of like 15 minutes. Some YouTubes are like couple minutes.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts now, some are like seconds.
Yeah. Remember when YouTube used to be 2 to 3 minute videos? Because that's what algorithm stuff. And then
it went to 10 minutes.
And then it went to 20 minutes.
Yeah, but like the ad revenue, I think it still has to be over 10 minutes to get like 3 ads on a video or something like that.
Oh, and then they gotta put the 17 ad breaks in. Rip.
Although, yeah, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't have to worry about the ad breaks.
Freaking bougie over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have Netflix, I don't have Hulu, I don't have any of those. It's like the only one that I do have.
I mean, that's fair.
And because I watch too much YouTube, to be honest. And it's worth it. It's worth it for me.
I'm considering I literally was talking to my wife yesterday about this because we were watching a video and it had like literally 4 ads in it. And it was like, we do watch enough to literally warrant it. And I was like, honestly, the number of things I YouTube for school now,
dude,
probably should. Like
that was part of it for me. It's like just ease of getting it to information. I was like, fucking Christ, because I was in school when I got it too.
Yeah, because I watched so many videos of like, in Python, how do you deal with dictionaries and blah, 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 blah. And then you had to start and it's like, bro, and it's one of those double, you have to watch 15-second ad and then the 5-second before you can skip it. And you're like, why am I sitting here for 20 seconds? And all I need is to jump around this video to maybe see if they're not going to answer my question, because most don't, because it's very like specific question I'm looking for. And a lot of times I'm like, please talk about it in this video, just about the whole subject. They didn't. Okay, next. And worse, if you're skipping around, it's like, oh, you hit another ad time because you jumped 4 minutes in the video. And it's just like, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a gulp.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came across on the mic, but I was like, I just died, I think.
The weird part is I did the exact same thing at the same time. I had like
We're
a
like,
weird burp thing come up. We both just died right now.
Yeah. Hey, have we talked about Far Cry 6 on the podcast
Oh,
yet?
shit. No. Oh, god damn, dude.
Okay.
Hang on. Proposal.
Okay.
Do you have time to
Yes.
stop this recording and then start a second one?
And then talk about all the
And
new
then talk
games
about
that came
all
out.
the new games.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right. And then I found $5. Bye.
Hashtag double feature. You'll get it a week later.